Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmick. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right. So, really quick, on that split, I was guided to look at the bottom and I saw the card. It said salt at the top, and it reminded me of alchemy. So you could be doing a lot of inner alchemy at this time, really transmuting some old wounds, some lower energies, and transmuting it and using it for your highest good. Um, so we'll see. Um, Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support on the channel. The like, shares, comments, subscribes, and of course the donations all really do help out. So thank you, thank you. And if you are interested in a personal reading from me, you can find that information in the description box below. All right, let's see what's going on. Healing herbs. Okay, so yeah, there is a sense of like alchemy and then healing. Maybe you're looking into alternative healing modalities. Um, this was I'm being reminded of a fun fact. Do with it what you will, not offering any advice. Something so I went to university for biology and chemistry, and something that I learned in a botany class, which is the scientific study of plants, is every single pharmaceutical that we have on the market is based on plant properties. It's isolated compounds from plants. So do with that what you will. The other thing is when they isolate it, there's other healing properties of the actual plant form, and when they isolate it in the lab, it has a different effect on the body. So go ahead and do that with that what you will. I'm not offering medical advice. I'm just giving you some little fun facts, maybe some little rabbit holes to go down. Okay. I am actually going to read this and get some more info out to y'all. Okay, so it's talking about herbs being a bridge between worlds of magic and logic. Our ancestors passed down knowledge through storytelling, drawing on collective wisdom to develop their intuition for which plants could heal with ailment. Within you lies this same ability, a legacy of the ancients. What some dismiss as nonsense or woo woo conceals the deeper meaning of medicine. The term wu comes from the ancient Chinese wu, meaning a female shaman and healer. I did not know that. Hey, that's my thing I learned today. What is the medicine you intuitively reach for? A walk, a bath, trust your instincts even when hidden in the cracks. Okay, there's something else that's coming through with this card. So, um, there's there's an artist that channels um she got a download basically of 44 different cards all with art. This is her. So this is like one of them. This is one of them. And she terms it visual medicine. And at first, it sounds really weird. But when you think about it, we consume information through all of our senses. So why couldn't we heal with all of our senses? Nowadays, it's not as abnormal to hear about sound frequencies and healing abilities and things like that. So why wouldn't things that we perceive with our eyes be medicinal in a way? Um, so there's a little random side note. But you could be looking into kind of alternate things like that. Staring at especially like channeled art that, is from the higher realms, so to speak, which a lot of art is channeled. But anyways, um, staring at certain forms of art can actually cause energetic differences in our field, in our energy field, in our body, so on and so forth. Same thing with, frequencies and tuning forks and sound bowls. Same thing, obviously our food, the food that we eat, supplements, things like that. So you're taking it in with your mouth. Sounded weird. Um, Same thing, aromatherapy with our sense of smell. And of course healing touch, massages, all of that, lymphatic drainage stuff, whatever it is. But it's expanding your view on what is healing. And so you could be really in this realm. That's a weird way to put it. Words are doing word things today, so bear with me. Um, but you could really be expanding your awareness on different things that are in your environment. Really starting to understand how different things affect your energy. The clothes we wear can actually affect your energy. So maybe you're really, really kind of shifting into that and really starting to be more conscious about some of those things, which is beautiful. It really is. Yeah, and it's like the lifestyle thing, like a healthy lifestyle. Well, that can also, of course, we think about like exercise and, your food choices, but that can be so expanded. It can be on what you use to clean your house, what you're spraying in your air to make it smell good. All of these things where there are hidden toxins and things like that. Maybe you're really coming into the awareness of a lot of this and making healthy swaps for some of it, switching from, the chemically air fresheners to an essential oil diffuser, those kinds of things that are practical. They're not, super pricey. And, yeah. Anyways, okay. So I feel like that's a whole different video topic, but I feel like there's definitely a huge focus on health in in more ways than just what you're eating and exercising. It feels very expanded. Um, then we've got mumming. I have never seen this card. That is a very interesting card. Okay. All right. I'll show it to you in just a minute. We're going to read it. All right. Mumming. Hmm. Okay. It says, what joy is knocking on your door? Okay. What is a mummer? It's an age-old folk tradition, particularly popular in Europe and North America, where it is woven into the fabric of seasonal merrymaking. They donned masks of otherworldly personas and set out to entertain, provoke, and inspire. Oh, yeah, okay, I've just never heard it termed that. Hmm, that's very, very interesting. We're learning together today. Holy moly. I'm like super shaky. That's weird. Okay. Um, Mummers bring luck, joy, wit, and merriment, most commonly during the Christmas and New Year period. They foster a sense of community, neighborly generosity, and fun, so long as you don't refuse them. Is your door open to good fortune? Can you find the celebration in daily life? Do you make space for silliness, joy, and humor for the benefit of yourself and those around you? And when I was reading that last part, I heard something about laughter being the best medicine. And so that could be something else. If you're really focused on a lot of different health stuff, put laughter in your day. And that sounds kind of weird, but it really is. It's a really good way to transmute energy is if you can laugh. It literally breaks up and transmutes energy. Um so you could be and sometimes this is easy to do, especially when you start deep diving the stuff and you start finding out what's being put in different products and then they're sold as good and then you find out they're extremely fucking toxic and it can be very heavy. Um and so this could be a reminder like yes, educate yourself, make yourself aware and also bring in joy in some way, laughter. Um and that's a real fine line and it is difficult, when you're deep diving into this stuff and really coming into the awareness of just how intricate some of these things can be and how layered the system can be at keeping you stuck in low vibrational and all of that. And so this is a reminder like while you're deep diving stuff and I'm getting something about the Epstein files, so that could be something else that you're kind of deep diving and really expanding your awareness on, like conspiracies, things like that. Just make sure that you are also balancing that out with something that can actually raise your vibration. Because the thing is we can get stuck in lower vibrational grids, basically, but still be conscious and aware. And so it's understanding that if you are, allow yourself to move through those emotions and do your best to not stay in those, because ultimately that's still feeding that system. And this is a whole other different video topic that I will probably do. And then, if you're interested in it, we'll deep dive it a little more. But it's really making sure that you are taking care of your mental health as well. And sometimes it's okay to take a break from doing this heavy research or deep diving or things like that. Okay. Make sure you're letting the joy in, let the laughter in. Don't take it too seriously. And also, I mean, I know it is serious, but it's one of those, remember that you're coming into this awareness of all of the things for a reason. At this time, your soul picked to do it at this time for a reason. So, give yourself the grace and some of that time to process everything, because I feel like you are kind of looking into some heavier stuff right now. And that is necessary on this journey to become aware and everything else. It's also really, really important to make sure that you are not allowing yourself to stay in that really heavy energy for long stretches of time, because it will actually have an adverse effect on your health. So, there's that. Okay, we've got hermit. And what I'm getting from this is just that taking steps back and really doing some of this like deep diving and expanding your awareness and raising your consciousness and coming into the awareness of different things. And sometimes it's heavy and then sometimes it's really fun. And it just depends on, what kinds of experiences you're having, what you're deep diving, what you're, really looking into. And it's okay to do it in waves. Just remember that we still came here to live and be human and to have a good experience. So remember to balance that. And then we've got household spirits. Ooh, it says, how can you cultivate a friendship with the unseen? So you could also be having some pretty intense spiritual experiences at this time as well. Um yeah, I'm getting an energy. For some of you, you're having like a full reality breakdown. Um yeah, and just know you're going through it for a reason. Your soul called you to do it at this time for a reason. And do your best to just move through it. It can get heavy. It's just make sure you don't get stuck there. That's the biggest thing. So I had to pause it for a minute. I was feeling some of the heavy energy. So I released it a little bit. And that could be something that you're really being called to do as well, is to allow yourself to, go outside, look at a tree, put your bare feet on the earth, stand out in the sun, stand under the moon, look at the stars, do those kinds of things to where you're pulling out of this kind of like heavy energy and reconnecting with the divine in whatever way that is for you. I feel like that's going to be really, really helpful for you. And of course, keep staying open to these different healing modalities and do what you're being called to do. We are taught to give our power away in our society by design, of course. And so just remember, your body is a very intelligent being on its own, and being able to start listening to your body and actually hearing what it's asking for is really, really beneficial. I have the 10 of Wands. That's really heavy burdened energy. Yeah, that confirms that heavy, heavy energy. Um, mm, yeah, and so yeah, yeah, it's pretty heavy. So I feel like that's where you're really being guided to do something where you can pull into laughter in some way. Um, maybe it's watching a comedy, maybe it's listening to comedy, maybe it's, just doing something where you're out in nature and you're allowing yourself to just smile at the birds, whatever it is, but it's something to shift your energy out of this burdened state. And And yeah, just really make sure you're taking care of your mental health as well right now because I feel like yeah, I feel like you're kind of in this it's just a really it is a really heavy energy. Um Two of Pentacles. Yeah, this could be you've got a lot going on. It's a balancing act. You could be trying to balance all of like the physical uh responsibilities, working, paying bills, cooking food, doing all of that. And then you're also navigating this new level of awareness on the journey. And I feel like you're in this place where you're really uncovering some of the heavier sides of things. And yeah, just really do your best to try and find something to be happy about, something you can smile about. Even I just got like an image of a dog doing something funny. Maybe it's just watching your pet and being in that present moment with your animal and enjoying your animal. Something like that to help kind of shift this energy because it is really, really heavy. The Nine of Cups. Okay, that's wish fulfillment though. Alright, what's in reverse though? The source of it. So that's the High Priestess energy. Yeah, I feel like you're definitely going through an upgrade when it comes to spirituality and your connection with the divine. And sometimes when we go through that, it's one of those things where like the old identity breaks down so that you can tap more into yourself, into that authentic version of yourself, and then um really align with just your more authentic version of self. And so you could be really going through this, having like a lot of experiences. Um, so yeah, just do your best to find something you can do every day that can kind of help you shift through this energy. For some of you, it is going to be some form of plant medicine. So take that as it resonates. Um, again, not offering medical advice. We're just talking about things spiritually and energetically and different things that are out there. Um, okay, gotta make sure I do the disclaimer. So, Nine of Cups and Queen of Swords. No, those weren't reversed. Okay, and then we've got the Star and the Prince of Pentacles. Okay. Hmm. For some of you, you are going through what you're going through because you're being called to be in the public eye at some point to assist other people on their journey. So if you're sitting there and you're like, why am I going through all of this? Why is all of this happening? That could definitely be part of it. It's going through it so that you can help guide other people. That might be part of soul purpose. Um, or coming up with different alternative, modalities or whatever it is. Um, but it's definitely about you coming out and being seen is really what's coming through. And there is wish fulfillment in your energy. So it's like it's really heavy, but then there's also like wish fulfillment. Prince of Pentacles. This is grounded, stable. Maybe you're really working on your finances right now. And then we've got Queen of Swords. And so this is somebody who has their boundaries. They've gone through enough, they've learned enough. Oftentimes it happens through pain and unpleasant situations. And then we learn and change different things. I just heard changing levels of access, so maybe you are changing the levels of access different people have to you based on just how they've been showing up for you or the lack thereof. It's having boundaries. The Queen of Swords is very intellectual as well. The swords is the element of air which governs like the mental space. So you could be really shifting your energy in a really big way. It's just about releasing these burdens and allowing yourself to find that really healthy balance for you. And with that, make sure you're listening to your intuition here because your intuition is going to continue to guide you on how to navigate this. Okay. So, I mean, we've got much fulfillment here. And 10 of Cups, holy shit. Okay. Ten of Cups is like the happily ever after card. Six of Cups. All right, that's nostalgic. Um, okay. For some of you, a part of this burdened energy has something to do with somebody from your past, or you shared a past life with them, and you are desiring a romantic union with that person. So that could be adding to this burdened energy as well. The thing is though, is it's like it's in your energy. And then the Ten of Swords. We've got a lot of paradoxical energy coming out. Okay, it's okay. Give me just a second. So I paused it. This is a very interesting reading. Okay. So I paused it to blow my nose, which often indicates a lot of communication energy that's either flowing, or it can also be like suppressing it and not allowing yourself to communicate. So that's normally what that symbolizes when it comes to in readings. Um, Especially because I'm not like dealing with a runny nose on a regular basis. Um, okay. Then what happened was I shut the door and then it creaked open. And then I went and I shut it again and it creaked open again. And then I was like, oh yeah, we had the household spirits card that came out for this reading. So you could be dealing with paranormal stuff, or just really weird energy things that are happening. Maybe you're experiencing some really weird, you're having weird experiences. If that's the case, just remember you are a sovereign being. So you have the full permission to claim your energy and your energetic environment. So if you're dealing with things that are making you uncomfortable in your house, there's a couple things. One, sometimes that happens to try and get our attention. So if you're focused only on the physical, but you're going through an awakening, sometimes you'll experience these kinds of things because it's getting your attention to let you know there are other things going on in other realms that are overlapped with ours. Okay. The other thing can be is sometimes when we're going through this awakening, we will experience lower vibrational stuff attempting to interfere with that process to keep you, plugged in, focused on the physical, and that's it. It's a way to distract you from realizing how, powerful you are when you claim your sovereignty. So you can claim your sovereignty over yourself and over your environment. And you can say something like, I only allow that which is for my highest good inside my home, inside my car, around me, whatever it is. And just claim that energy and shift into more of that love frequency where you are a sovereign being connected to the divine, and you get to determine different experiences that you have. And by claiming that power and claiming that sovereignty, it can absolutely release some things that might be uh, lowering your vibration or trying to scare you. And it's also understanding that these beings don't have as much power as we've been told, or what they try and appear to be. They're big and scary sometimes, and then they'll make loud noises, and then you're like, not today. And then they're like, damn. Like, actually, no. I look at a lot of it as like energetic lice, because it's a way, like, most people are grossed out by lice. It's not really pleasant. It's not really something that we want to experience, like head lice, but it's not something that it's like most people don't get terrified of head lice. So it's just irritating, or like a mosquito, it's irritating. Anyways, but I was like, mosquitoes always bite me, so I get really annoyed with mosquitoes. But anyways, um if you look at it like that and you just think of them as like energetic pests, then it's easier to deal with, because it's not viewing it as this big, scary being that has all this power and control over you, because it doesn't, unless you allow it to. Okay, so there's that side note. Then the other thing that came up right before I paused it is a Heyoka empath. Now, okay, when it comes to labeling yourself and putting yourself in boxes, be mindful of that, because it can be limiting. Because of this paradoxical energy that's coming through. It actually reminded me of Heyoka empath. Now, Heyoka is it's a unique type of empath. And if you are a Heyoka, understanding that that is kind of part of your purpose can be very liberating because it can explain why you affect people the way you do, why you are the way you are in some ways. So a Heyoka is this, they're also known as the sacred clown. Um, very in tune, very able to read energy, and then they're also disruptors, and so they're going to be the person that's like they're saying the thing that is out of left field that just people are like what, and then it's just a way that Heyokas navigate through life and then handle energies. So if you find that you're kind of a paradoxical person with your energy, you're always kind of throwing people, you're surprising people, maybe look into it. That might give you a little bit of like clarity and guidance on it. And then the other thing with Heyokas is you can feel very misunderstood because you operate very differently. So it's still an empath, it still picks up on energy, you can read energy, you can feel energy, so on and so forth, but it's a different way of going about it. So that might give you a little bit of reprieve by understanding that a little bit deeper if that is in alignment with, your energy. Okay, back to the energy that's coming out here. Again, it's paradoxical because we've got like really happy light cards and then we've got really heavy not so great cards. So you could, and that also could be just due to transmuting a lot of energy. You could be doing a lot of inner work right now, a lot of inner emotional healing, having spiritual experiences. You could just be going through a lot right now. And the thing is I feel like you are focused, like you do have this desire to have this happily ever after energy with somebody, potentially from your past in this lifetime, or it could be like past lifetimes, soulmate kind of energy. And there is also a little bit of fear, or you're working through past betrayals with the Ten of Swords here. Ten of Swords is like super betrayal energy. It's being stabbed in the back multiple times and it's painful. And so you could be working through that right now. And that could be part of where it's like it's heavy because maybe you're be like coming into the awareness of different things, and then you're dealing with like emotional healing, and then you're having weird spiritual experiences, and then you don't really, I'm getting that you might not have a whole lot of people to talk to about some of this stuff. And so it's a lot. I feel like you're really dealing with a lot right now. But the thing is just know you're going through all of this for a reason. Everything that is happening right now is happening for you. And remember that. And because you do have the Ten of Cups in your energy, I feel like that is something you are desiring, and it is something that is possible for you with this energy. So it's not all doom and gloom. The Mentor. Okay. So you could, interesting. So I was kind of thinking that, if you are feeling really alone right now, I feel like there is somebody that is in your energy. So this could be somebody that you follow online. This could be somebody who's a coach. This could be somebody who's a spiritual mentor. Take it as it resonates. I feel like you do have somebody in your energy that can help you navigate some of this. I'm getting a little bit of a hyper independence energy off of you. And so this could be a challenge to actually open up and be like, yeah, I need some help with this shit because I don't know what the fuck's going on. Um, and then, yeah. Yeah, be mindful. Make sure if you are working with a mentor, especially when it comes to spirituality, if they're coming across as though they know everything, be very mindful of that, because a good spiritual mentor is going to lead you back to yourself 9 times out of 10. So they might give you some tips and tricks, they might give you some clarity, but they're going to continue to bring you back to yourself, to go within, because that's where all of your answers truly lie. Little side note. Okay, then we've got Six of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Moon. Okay, so you are manifesting something Something hidden has come to light. And part of this could be that you are seeking balance in your life in some way. This can be in relationships. This can just be equal input and output when it comes to like work or your finances. I'm definitely getting relationships too. So that something hidden came to light for you and now it's made you desire something different. Now you're desiring a different experience. You're desiring different people, different environments, different just a lot of different things. And there is that underlying element of finding balance, wanting to find balance. So maybe you've experienced a lot of out of balance stuff in life. And now you're really realizing that the main thing that you desire is to have balanced connections, balanced energetic, input versus output, those kinds of things. Okay. Got the 3 of Cups and the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is very emotionally mature. This is somebody who's done a lot of internal work, a lot of healing, and is also able to handle other people when they're emotional in a more healthy way, I guess we could say. It's the opposite of the energy of like if somebody else is experiencing a big emotion and then you shut down. The King of Cups is the complete opposite of this. And so the King of Cups is somebody who can understand, like, okay, your emotions are your emotions. You're experiencing something, and, what can I do to assist you? Or, just yeah, kind of holding space for others when necessary, but again it's balanced. And so it's not going to be that you're the only one ever doing that and then the other person is only ever receiving that. It's going to be very mutually beneficial. There's definitely a balance here. And so maybe this is something else that was kind of hidden that came to light where you started to realize like different dynamics that you had with other people. Maybe for some of you, you did shut down with big emotions. And then that's something you're actively changing and working on within yourself and allowing yourself to feel some of these things that maybe you suppressed for a long time. And with that, again, give yourself the grace, give yourself, the time, the compassion, and everything else, and make sure you're allowing this stuff to come up and to move, and then also doing something to where you can just like release it and, go talk to a tree. Like, it sounds weird, but, you know, it's actually very healing. Um, and okay, and I'm also being shown, okay, so there is an energetic thing that can happen, really random. If you sit with your back up against a tree when you're really dealing with a lot of like internal upset or discomfort or just, really heavy, you're being pulled in multiple directions, you don't know what to do with everything that's coming to the surface. If you sit with your back up against a tree, there's actually an energetic transference. The tree can actually send you healing, uplifting energy. So again, I know how it sounds. Go experience it. Just saying. Like, what do you have to lose? Go sit with your back against a tree and see how you feel. Okay. 3 of Cups. This is a celebration. So it's, yeah, I feel like this is an energy where it's like you're transmuting a lot, you're going through a lot, you're navigating a lot, but you're also having spiritual experiences and you also have some really good things in your energy. And so allow yourself to know that. Allow yourself to know that there is a celebration coming for you. And again, make sure you're listening to your intuition and allowing that to guide you. And definitely, maybe look into a mentor of some kind if that's calling to you right now, because that could probably really help you navigate some of this heaviness that's going on and releasing some of this stuff, not getting stuck in it. Is one hyper independent person to another. Trust me, it's it can be really it can just shorten the time that you're in this heavy energy if you allow other people to support you. So take it from my experience. Okay. We've got the Princess of Wands and the Eight of Swords, Four of Swords, and Two of Wands. Okay. So you could be feeling like you're at a crossroads right now and you're not quite sure which direction to go. Um, The Eight of Swords can be really stuck up in your head. This is a lot of anxiety. And then the Four of Swords is resting and rejuvenating and kind of taking a break. Um, so that could be part of what is recommended here to help you get out of your head is to do a little bit of rest, do a little bit of rejuvenation, maybe look into different plant medicines. Plants keep coming up, like even with sitting next to a tree. Connecting with plant consciousness. Maybe look into dieta. It's where you sit with the plant consciousness for like a week and you really, connect with that plant. There's things like this that we can do, and they sound a little weird at first, but when you actually do some of these things and you have these experiences, then you'll know like if that is for you or not. And sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. um okay. Princess of Wands. I'm being told to read it. Give me just a second. Okay. Oh, hey, that was cool. All right. A creative energy, determination, self-confidence, and an adventuresome spirit. Okay. This is an opportunity to go after your dreams and desires with fiery ambition. Nothing should stop you from moving forward and implementing a plan of action. Be open to spontaneous events that may serve your cause in productive ways. Okay, so you could be having your creativity really coming back online right now as well. And that could be something to focus on too. Is shifting and doing something creative, and that's a really good way to transmute energy and also to release it and pull it out of your system and put it's an outlet for it. So if you're really struggling, do something creative and that will really help as well. And then for some of you, it's going to be these creations, this creativity energy within you that actually aligns you with something that is like very, I'm getting like purpose driven. It's very rewarding, and it's also an outlet. A lot of artists, create songs or music or paintings or whatever out of pain, and then out of love, and then out of all these different emotions. And so you can create that and it also helps get it out. There's something else here about possibly journaling that might help you to kind of navigate through this energy, because I feel like you've got this like dualistic energy going on where it's like part, like you're going through like really heavy energy, you're doing a lot of healing. It's really heavy, it's stuck in your head, maybe a little bit of anxiety, that kind of thing. But then on this other end, you're at this crossroads and you've got this possibility to choose a different path that really, it's like it lifts you energetically. It's lighter. There's a celebration. There's a potential for a happily ever after situation with a person that is your perfect match, that you do life together. We've got wish fulfillment in your energy. So it's like this really interesting paradoxical energy coming up. And so you could be really in that sifting and sorting energy where you're like, okay, I don't want to experience this anymore. How can I change that internal aspect of me that's calling this experience in so that I can shift over here to experience the life that I actually desire. So you could be in the midst of a quantum leap right now. Um, Again, that's content for a whole different video, but maybe look into that as well and see if that's kind of relevant for what you're going through. And make sure that when you are choosing between these paths, you're listening to your intuition and you're following your heart space as well. Where is your heart leading you to? Do your best not to listen to this fear and this anxiety that's coming up in the headspace when it comes to being stuck in your head and anxiety and fear-based thoughts. Okay. Okay. Just a little more. Three of Wands. Okay, so you could also be waiting for something. And then for some of you, I heard, oh, with King of Pentacles. Okay, some of you could be waiting on your finances to improve before taking this other path. Um, Okay, we do have a counterpart energy on the table. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles that came out one right after the other. So maybe for some of you, you're waiting to go towards a person that you are desiring until your finances get better, and then you want this grounded, secure, financially stable dynamic with this other person. There's an interesting thing here, though, about it's one of those. You can, but it's not necessary to wait until you're fully in this King of Pentacles energy where you're completely grounded, you're completely stable, so on and so forth, in the physical financial world. For some of you, you are being guided to go towards somebody to build with them. And so it's this energy of like, make sure you're listening to your intuition because for some of you, yeah, maybe you're on the brink of bringing in some huge financial blessings and then you'll be in the energy you want to be in to go towards this person. For others of you, what could be happening is you're actually being guided to go towards this person because you're meant to build with them and get into this energy together. And so if you're waiting for this to happen when this is the thing you're being called to go towards this person to work on, it's, it's going to turn into a very stagnant energy. Um, and then Eight of Wands, this can be fast communication. It's also really fast moving, just manifestations in general. So, yeah, for some of you, you are being guided to use your communication energy, whether it's talking, writing, singing, whatever it is. And and then with the Three of Pentacles, that's teamwork, that's building together. Um, So there is that energy of building. So for some of you, what this is talking about is communicating with somebody that you want to build with. And it's like building a business. Some of you, it's building life together. It's just going to vary, but there is this energy of communicating with somebody that you desire building with. So, for some of you, this is like a life partner. For others of you, this is a business partner. Just take it as it resonates. But I'm really getting that energy of building something with another person that is coming through. Teamwork and collaboration really comes through with that Three of Pentacles. And then Princess of Swords, yeah, that's communication. And the Two of Cups, that's soulmate energy. Okay. So for some of you, you are being guided to communicate with a soulmate of some sort. Yeah, so this could be platonic or romantic. It doesn't only have to be romantic. The Two of Cups does carry a romantic undertone, but it's not just romantic. It's a connection that is very compatible, and it's somebody from your soul family, so there's going to be a natural resonance with that person. And so there could be the energy of communicating with somebody that is from your soul family and coming together in some way. Maybe it's doing a creative pursuit together, working together, and of course it could be a romantic union as well, especially with the Ten of Cups out here. That's like literally happily ever after in complete emotional fulfillment with another person in a romantic sense. For some of you, that's part of the crossroads you're at, is communicating with the soulmate, because it I laid it down on the Two of Wands. So that could be something that you are feel like you're kind of being torn. But just know there is a celebration here. So yeah, make sure you're listening to your intuition when it comes to this crossroads energy in what your next steps are, because there is potential for I just heard reunion. So yeah, for some of you, this is a reunion energy with somebody that you knew in the past. Um, for others of you, it could be a reunion with somebody that you had a past life with. So it's just going to depend. But there is this huge energy of like manifesting your desires and having something to celebrate. It is going to require you to listen to your intuition and allow this, whatever's hidden that's coming to light for you, allowing those revelations to uh uh mm, 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 mm. It's like allow yourself to sit with it and then also ask like what am I being guided to do with this? Because you're not going to be shown certain things until you're ready for it. So when you're shown certain things, that's something you can ask yourself. You can ask your higher self, you can ask the divine, and then just stay open to receiving the answers. And it may come in weird forms, but you'll know, especially if you're listening to your intuition, you'll know like, oh, that's the answer to my question. So it's one of those like, why is this happening now? Why would I be coming into the awareness of this now? Why would I be being drawn towards this person or this place or this thing now? Why am I being called towards it? And sometimes, you're not going to find out exactly why until you take that action. And so that's where it's really just important to listen to your intuition because sometimes you're going to be called to take the leap blindly. And then you find out in hindsight what the whole purpose was for it. So, yeah, definitely make sure you're listening to your intuition when it comes to this. So, if anything else wants to come out, maybe. Mm. Five of Swords. Okay, don't self-sabotage it though. Yeah, yeah, make sure. Ooh, wait. I'm just gonna throw cards. All right. Okay. And those wanted to come out. All right. Well, there's that. Just flip them around. No? Okay. All right. So if you're just listening and not watching, I just had cards fly all over, so give me just a second. Okay. Five of Swords, this is talking about internal conflict. It can also be talking about conflict with other people around you. But the main thing that was really coming off of this was self-sabotage. So if you have a pattern of self-sabotaging things, you're really being guided to allow yourself to not self-sabotage whatever this is that is in alignment with your heart space, your intuition. For some of you, again, I am feeling that this is going to be a person that you're romantically interested in. For others of you, this could be going towards somebody that you want to build with, but then you kind of get a little worried, like, oh, this person might not want to build with me. So I'll just wait, or I'll just do this, or I'll wait until I'm at this point, and then I'll see if they want to build with me. And so just pay attention to that because that's how self-sabotage can show up. This is a sneaky little shit. Um, Four of Cups. This can be talking about I'm getting a missed opportunity, which isn't always what the Four of Cups really represents. Normally it's Five of Cups energy. But yeah, it's this energy of like being bored, kind of stale, stagnant energy. And again, there is that missed opportunity that keeps coming up. So it's one of these things like you might be focused on the loss of things, maybe in deep regret about something, and then you're not seeing this like cup that the divine is giving you. Like you're being given this beautiful opportunity, but you're focused on what was lost and what didn't work out and what, just kind of the lack side of things. And the divine's coming through like, well, here's this though, here's this gift, here's this opportunity, here's this thing. And you're focused on the lack side of things. And so you're not really even seeing what the divine is trying to bring to you right now. Um, so yeah, definitely allow yourself to get into a balanced energy as much as possible and listen to your intuition when it comes to this crossroads energy because there is this possibility for you to align with a reality that is very, very happy and harmonious and balanced and uplifted. And yeah, and then it's like you're aligned with soul purpose. And then the Prince of Wands can be very, it can be impulsive, but I'm not really getting that you have an impulsive energy. Maybe you do. I'm just not feeling it in your current energy right now. But maybe there's something that you're about to do or you're being called to do that seems a little more impulsive, but I don't feel like it actually is. I feel like this is something that it's like if you've been consciously manifesting something for a while and you've been doing all of this internal work and releasing limiting beliefs and releasing people, places and things that don't align with this new version of you that has what it is that you're desiring, and then all of a sudden you release like those final things and then your manifestation comes in. People on the outside are like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. And you're like, I mean, but kinda. Like, I know it looks like that on the outside, but trust me, I've been consciously doing this shit for a while. So, it's internal work. And then all of a sudden it shows up in the external and it seems like it's random or a miracle or magical or impulsive. And it's not. And then, of course, there are those times when things do happen where they come out of left field and it's, random and impulsive. But I'm not getting that this is something that you're going to do impulsively in the sense of, like, it's not like you just woke up one day and you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I desire this with this person, so I'm just gonna reach out." It's something that you've been contemplating for a while. Um, for some of you, this is like a childhood dream coming back up for you. And then you've been doing some sifting and sorting and some awareness and, coming into deeper levels of understanding about manifestation or about, just consciousness and all of these things. And then all of a sudden it appears for you or an opportunity, shows up for you. Um, so it's an energy of, like, I don't feel really that it's impulsive, it's more just fast action. So it's one of those, like, I feel like for this collective, you've been at this crossroads for a while and you're like, okay, do I do this thing? Do I not do this thing? Am I really being called to do it? Am I not being called to do it? Is it fantasy? Is it some ideal that isn't possible? But, it's, whatever it is. And you've been going back and forth, especially with this Eight of Swords energy stuck up in your head about it. A lot of anxiety, lots of consciousness expansion happening as well, coming into deeper realizations and understandings of different things in the world and society and all of these. And then you've been just, like, really debating with this big decision at this crossroads of, like, do I actually do this or not? And then I feel like there's going to be a situation where all of a sudden your intuition hits and then you just allow yourself to do it. And then that's where it's like, be real mindful of that self-sabotage energy, because when that happens, I feel like that is the guidance of, like, when that intuition kicks up and says to do this thing, do that thing. Because that is going to pull you into a different reality. It's going to help you align with the version of life that you actually desire to live versus more of an unconscious manifesting by default type of energy. Okay. Right. Well, I feel like I rambled a lot in this reading, so hopefully this resonates. I am going to leave this here. Ultimately, again, give yourself grace, give yourself a pat on the back. You're going through a pretty intense transformation right now. So just hang in there. You got this. You're going through it for a reason. Everything is happening for you, not to you. And yeah, you got this. And you're being called in this direction at this time for a reason. And it is for your highest good. It is something that I do feel like you do desire with this wish fulfillment. So it is going to be, and for some of you, it's like multiple wishes being granted, one right after the other, once you allow yourself to fully align with this other path that you have in front of you right now. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, in this thing that you wanted shows up, and this thing that you wanted presents an opportunity to obtain it. And it's just, and then here's another person, and then here's a really good friend, and then here's a mentor, and then here's, maybe a divine counterpart. I mean, it's just going to be like one thing after another. Once you allow yourself to truly lock into this next version of you that you're being called into, which is the version of you that is aligning with the life that you desire to live, where you wake up every day and you're experiencing life, for the most part, because we're humans, but you're experiencing it for the most part in a very beautiful, happy, harmonious way versus such a really heavy, heavy way. Okay. Well, sending you so much loving energy. You got this. Remember that. Um, yeah. Yeah, you got this. Alrighty. Well, feel free to let me know in the comments below if this resonates. I would love to talk to you about it. You can also affirm this comments and blah, blah. You can also affirm this energy in the comments below as well. Feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free. I will see you on the next message.